Howdy, my name is Daxio, and this is Plugged In News. In today's pin update, we have Biden to send government officials door to door across America to pressure people to get vaccinated. For the next story, we have Trump announces a class action lawsuit against tech giants Twitter, Facebook, and Google. And for the last story, we have Haiti President Jovenel Moïse killed by a group claiming to be DEA agents. Let's get right into that. So for the first story today, this is coming from the Second News. I'm not sure who the author is. It is Biden to send government officials door to door across America to pressure people to vaccinate. President Joe Biden said Tuesday, now this is a little bit of a shorter story, but it's still pretty interesting. President Joe Biden said Tuesday that he would be sending officials out to knock on people's doors across America to pressure them to take the coronavirus vaccine. Now we need to go community by community, neighborhood by neighborhood, and oftentimes door by door, literally knocking on doors to help get the remaining people, Biden said during his speech about coronavirus. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki used a similar phrase Tuesday in which she said coronavirus preventative measures will entail targeted community by community, door to door outreach to get the remaining Americans vaccinated. A CBS News reporter asked Psaki during the same briefing if the White House would reimpose coronavirus restrictions as cases tick up, or is it up to the states? We certainly support their decisions to implement measures that will make their community safe, Psaki stated. States and local communities will have to make evaluations about what is in their interest. Now, I would normally comment my thoughts, but I'm currently not allowed to because of YouTube's guidelines and restrictions, so all I'm going to say is ask your doctor if you want to get vaccinated. Alright, and for the next story today, this is coming from Newsmax. This is Trump announces class action lawsuit against tech giants Twitter, Facebook, and Google. And this is by Sandy Fitzgerald. It goes on to read, former President Donald Trump has announced class action lawsuits against tech giants Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube parent company Google over their unlawful censorship of him and other conservatives after the social media giants banned him from posting in the wake of the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. We're demanding an end to the shadow banning, a stop to the silencing, and a stop to the blacklisting, banishing, and canceling that you know so well, Trump said during an appearance at his golf resort in Bedminster, New Jersey, Wednesday morning. We will prove that the censorship is unlawful, it's unconstitutional, and it's completely un-American. The actions are being supported by the America First Policy Institute headed by former Trump officials Linda McMahon and Brooke Rollins, who introduced Trump at the announcement. Axios first reported AFPI's involvement. Trump is permanently banned from Twitter and will not be eligible to return to Facebook for 2 more years. The lawsuits filed against Google, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter seek compensatory and punitive damage to the plaintiffs and the class in an amount that to be determined at a trial. An injunction in order for the sites to immediately reinstate the plaintiffs' accounts, in order for the sites to remove warning labels and classifications from posts, and to desist from further warnings, and a judgment declaring Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act of 1996 unconstitutional. Trump railed about what he called censorship of posts by him and others because of the coronavirus pandemic, including his post about I'm not allowed to say that. I don't think I am on YouTube. Anyways, liberty is under increased threats and attacks by a lot of different sides, Trump said. We are the majority side. Social media has given extraordinary power to a group of big tech giants that are working with government and the mainstream media and large segment of a political party to suppress the views of the American people, and they've been very successful at that. He further said that thousands of people want to join the lawsuit and called it the largest lawsuit of its kind before introducing people who have complained about being banned from social media platforms. Twitter and Facebook say the bans were enacted for safety reasons following the attack on the Capitol. In May, Facebook's independent oversight board backed the company's decisions to suspend its account. But before January 6, Trump took aim at Dorsey and Zuckerberg along with big tech, signing an executive order meant to limit legal protections that shield social media companies from liability for the content users post on their platform. Now, this is a big story because not only is Trump fighting for conservatives like this post reads or says, but he's also fighting for the left as well. Those people who get banned, who have different opinions on what Twitter or what Facebook wants, those people that get banned, he's fighting for those people too. Free speech is a huge issue, like with online social media and stuff like that, so this is very big. I'm excited to see what happens. Alright, and for our last story today, This is from the New York Post. It's Haiti President Jovenel Moïse killed by a group claiming to be DEA agents by Yaron Stenbeck and Aaron Feiss. It goes on to read, Haitian President Jovenel Moïse was assassinated in his home Wednesday by a group of unidentified gunmen who also left his wife wounded, Interim Prime Minister Claude Joseph announced, calling it a hateful, inhumane, and barbaric act as he imposed a state of siege on the nation. An unidentified group of individuals, some of whom were speaking in Spanish, attacked the private residence of the President of the Republic and mortally wounded him, Joseph said in a statement, adding that the assailants were armed with high-caliber weapons. That was in quotation marks. The primary languages in the impoverished Caribbean nation of more than 11 million people and some 675 miles southeast of Miami are French and Haitian Creole. Joseph said that he was now in charge of the country. The gunmen claimed to be agents with the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, Miami Herald reported. But sources told the papers that the assailants, one of whom spoke English with an American accent, were not with the American agency. In this statement, Joseph said First Lady Martine Moise, 47, was wounded by a bullet and the necessary measures are being taken. Moise, 53, and his wife were attacked about 1 a.m. local time at their Port-au-Prince residence, said Joseph, who condemned what he called the assailants hateful, inhumane, and barbaric. Videos taken by people in the area of the president's home in the neighborhood of Perlin 5 above hills in the capital suggested that the assailants claimed to be DEA agents. DEA operation. Everyone stand down. DEA operation. Everyone back up, stand down. Someone with an American accent is heard saying over in English over a speaker. The news outlet reported. Residents reported hearing high-powered rounds being fired and seen black-clad men running through the neighborhoods, according to Herald, which also cited reports of an exploding grenade and drones buzzing overhead. Now, I'm not too sure what the background of this, what's all happening with Haiti right now, but this is just a big story that I've seen a lot of posting about and lots of talks about, so I decided to report on that. Yo, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you do enjoy the video, drop a like and drop a sub down below. Drop a comment, let me know how I'm doing, what I can do to improve, what you like about the videos, etc. And don't forget to stay plugged in. Peace out, boys.